Denver. So 16 times now, it passes Duncan, Kobe, Kareem. I know that there have been a lot of milestones like this, but what does it mean about longevity, and especially when you think about those three names?
Um, I just like I said in my post when I posted about it, I said I'm truly blessed. Kind of at a loss for words. Um, I've been fortunate enough to be able to take care of my body, push my body to limits that maybe at times when I was younger, maybe didn't think I could get to, but I never put a ceiling on what I can do in this league. So I think one of the things I pride myself on is being available to my teammates, and it's allowed me to sit here at this point and talk about what we're talking about now. And then anytime I'm linked with some of the goats that's played this game, it's just an unbelievable thing. Like you said, you mentioned Timmy D, Kareem. You mentioned Kobe as well. Just some of the goats that's played this game that paved the way for myself, and hopefully I'll leave it when I'm done with my career in a better place. Than when I started because of what they did and the groundwork that they did and the examples that they set. So, just blessed to be a part of this.
And then moving forward to the Western Conference Finals now, just everything's been unique there, I know, but I think you guys have played 6 games in the last 20-plus days, in part because of course, winning 4-1 both times. How does that feel physically in terms of like basketball rhythm, rest? And I know it's been a constant question, but what does that feel like going into the conference finals?
It doesn't feel like anything, to be honest. It feels like we're preparing for extremely dangerous, extremely well coached, extremely, a great team in the Nuggets. That's been our only focus. But at the same time, we've also been, putting in our work individually before we knew who our opponent was. Getting our individual work in, getting our team work in, keeping our minds, our bodies, and our souls, just up to speed, and not losing focus of what the main thing is. And we're here to compete for a championship. That's what our mindset has been. No matter how many days we've had in between games, who our opponent has been, and we respect all our opponents because they're great teams.
Hey, LeBron. I have 2 questions. The first is, you know what it's like to come back from a 3-1 deficit and how difficult that is game after game to play 3 straight elimination games. The Nuggets have done it twice. What does that say about them as a team and as competitors? And my second question is your thumb okay?
To the first question, very resilient, very confident, very driven, and very well coached team. And it takes a lot of energy, effort, and a lot of desperation to be able to come back from a 3-1 deficit. And they did it twice. And so the respect level is out of this world for what we have for this ball club. And that's how we'll go into this series, understanding what they're capable of and where they stand. Yes, my thumb is fine. And I don't remember what game it was in the Houston series. I tried to block a shot. My thumb got caught in the rim a little bit. So, just trying to, do the treatment and keep myself healthy for the game. So, but it won't affect me in any way, shape, or form.
Hey, it's Dave. Michael Malone, you guys go way back, and you've always shown him love when you've been playing against him when he was the coach of the Kings or whatever. What allowed you guys to create that connection, that respect, that bond back when you were in Cleveland together?
When you work hard in your craft and you see others working just as hard on their craft, it becomes organic and it becomes mutual respect. And I know how much Coach Mo put into our schemes, put into our productivity, and put into what we needed to do to go out and win ball games when we were together in Cleveland. And I saw that, and so the respect level and just seeing how hard that he was putting into his craft, it made it easy for me to grow a likeness to him.
Hey, LeBron, it's Bill. A lot of young guys on this Denver team, but there's at least one familiar face, I guess, in Paul Millsap, a guy who played in the playoffs a couple of times. Just wondering how you look back on kind of your guys' battles over the years and what you think it'll be like to see him in another playoff series and what he's done for them, especially over the last few games.
Well, he's a winning guy. He was that in Utah in his early days. He was that in Atlanta, and he's here in Denver as well. and it's not hard to implement winning players into any situation, and that's why it's been so seamless for him. A guy who's always consistent, who does what it takes to help the ball team win, and there's always like a sense of calmness. He's a veteran. He's been in playoff matchups. He's been in big games, and like you said, for the young guys, it's someone that they can always lean on.
All right, Allison, over to you.
Okay, Kyle Goon.
LeBron, obviously you have high expectations of yourself, and you're a unanimous first-team NBA guy. But I'm wondering, with AD and the way he works, is anything you've accomplished or any way you pushed yourself this year a reflection of having him around and seeing the way he works?
I want to say no, because I've never needed anyone to push me.
Sure.
I'm an only child, so I had to push myself. But in the sense of being older than AD, I think it's showing him, how much I put into my craft, and hopefully it trickles down to him. I feel like I would be cheating him if he came to be a part of this, and I was cheating the game in some way, shape, or form. It's not an example I will ever set for any of my teammates, not just AD, but anybody I've ever played with, and you can ask any of my teammates. I just put that much work into my craft, and that's what it's about.
Okay, Dan.
Hey, LeBron. Nikola can do a lot of different things. He can score, he can rebound. I'm curious, though, are you drawn to the way that he can see the floor and pass? It seems like you guys share that ability. And how much joy do you get out of that part of your game? It seems like it fuels them a lot.
No, it's probably the best part of the game. Being able to get your teammates involved, putting the ball on time, on target, being able to see things happen before they happen and seeing the reward go to your teammates, it's the best part of the game.
You see that in him?
Yes. It's just infectious, when you have, the best player of the team, or one of the best players of the team, not really caring about himself at all for the better of the team. It sends a message to the rest of the group.
Morgan.
So a lot of sports is peaking at the right time going through the playoffs. Do you feel like you guys are peaking at the right time? And how is that playing as a team who seems to start their peak in a series more towards the middle as opposed to the beginning?
Well, it's great to be playing the way we're playing right now. I mean, it's the postseason, and that's when you want to kind of hit your stride. We still have a ceiling that we feel like we can get better. And it's our job to not put a cap on where we can go. So we know as the series goes on, we start to get more and more comfortable with our opponent, with our schemes, with our system of what we want to do. And we hope we can continue that in this series. And starting from game one, being as great as we can be, and then figuring out ways we can be even better going into game two, and so on and so on.
Okay, and I think we just have any more here, guys?
I'll do.
Sam?
Ron, I'm curious, that Clippers Nuggets game 7, we were pretty shocked by the way it ended for the Clippers. You got a different filter, a different view. Were you surprised?
I really don't have a comment about it. I was just sitting back and watching the game from a fan's perspective, seeing big shots be made, big plays being made, missed shots, things of that nature. But also, I was also as a scout, scouting both teams at the same time, and seeing. I was trying to get as many log-in minutes for myself personally, scouting both teams at the same time, because we knew Game 7 will decide who we would play. So that was kind of my mindset.
Was there any part of you that was caught up in the LA? The chance to face those guys and kind of settle it? That's something we talk about, but how did you see it?
What were we selling?
I mean, just the discussion about LA and the clash of those two top teams.
No.
All right, last 2 questions on Zoom, and then we'll be good.
All right, perfect. Last 2 here. Let's go to Melissa. Melissa, you with us?
I'd only heard stories about the.
Okay, Melissa, we're having a hard time hearing your mic, so let's go to Mark Medina.
Hey, LeBron, Frank was praising you and AD not just for your talent, obviously, but the way that you guys set the tone throughout the season with creating a sense of urgency with the club, in practice and film sessions, games. How did you approach that overall decision?
I mean, it's just who I am personally. I don't like the way the season ended for us last year, and especially myself. With the injury and things that I went through last year personally, and then with our ball club, I didn't like the way that ended. So, my mindset coming into the season was already pretty much locked in just from the summertime of me putting in my work and me training, getting up at 4 a.m., training before I was shooting Space Jam and things of that nature. And then when we were able to get AD and also acquire Coach Vogel and having the battles that I had with him, his Indiana Pacer team already knew what he would bring to the table as well. So I was just excited about the opportunity to just link with AD, such a great talent, link with Coach Vogel and the coaching staff and the players that we were starting to sign and things of that nature. So I don't know, that's what it was all about. I was just excited, man, to get back to work whenever that was happening. And it's just like I told you guys earlier in the season, my mom told me don't talk about it, be about it. So I didn't really say much. I just go out and do your job and live with the results.